Welcome everyone to our first live stream podcast, and we're here to talk about Bristol City. And unfortunately, our first live podcast is about a dismal loss. It finished at Ashton Gate yesterday. Bristol City 0, Birmingham 2. I watched the game on a stream. Matisse, you watched the game, I think, as well, didn't you? If he's there. All right. Yeah, we both watched the game. Hello, Ollie. See you there in the chat. Yeah, we both watched the game. It was pretty horrendous for most of it, as Matisse drops out. Brilliant. But yes, pretty horrendous for most of it, and from kind of the crest of the wave, kind of the top of kind of highs of Millwall away, and just a general, brilliant result. As is Matisse back? I'm not sure. General brilliant result at Millwall, and it's kind of gone to this. Hello, John. Here we go. I'm not going to hear the end of this now. But yes, a really, really poor afternoon, and just in general, did not go the way of City. And well, here we are to discuss all about the game. The team was, as it goes on the running order there, it was Max O'Leary in goal, George Tanner, Zach Vine, and Rob Dickey, who gets sent off for something, I don't know what. Campering at left back, Matty James, Joe Williams, Harry Cornick, and Jason Knight. Obviously, Jason Knight was playing kind of the 10 role, so that's why I put him kind of along with Cornick. Mehmeti off the left, no Naki Wells, no Tommy Conway. So who do we put up top? Sam Bell up against that Birmingham team. It was John Roddy in goal, Ethan Laird at right back, Dion Sanderson, who was the captain for Blues, Kevin Long, Lou Buchanan, Ivan Sunic, Bielik, Dembele, Anderson, Bakuna, Hogan. Going back to the City team, Matisse, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, sorry guys, my connection is not great, but yeah. So when the team went out, I was looking for Roberts at the left back, but then again, it was a tough decision. It could have gone either way. Back four, otherwise, was the norm. In the midfield as well is what we expected. I thought Cal could possibly contest for that, but I think for the next game maybe he could. For the front three, yeah, very surprised to see Bell up front. Trying something new, I guess. I would have preferred one Naki up front, Anis on the left, and then I think Cornick did deserve his start. Don't think he was great in the game, but after the first two league games, he wasn't too bad. I mean, well, he did get us the goals. But yeah, interesting to see Bell up front. But yeah, otherwise, pretty normal. We don't have too much to work with the injuries, but yeah.
Yeah, it felt a bit weird with that starting front three, because I think we looked at it and went, oh, well, who's playing up top? Pearson confirmed it was going to be Sam Bell. But as soon as it was Sam Bell, and you look at the two Birmingham centre-backs in Kevin Long and Dion Sanderson, who were both very good in the air, you kind of went, how are we going to play this? Because we thought we were a team that's kind of possession-based, but every time we're in a tight position, we kind of hoofball it, and it's very frustrating. It just didn't work. Didn't watch the game, neither did I watch highlights, but it sounded like Bush City were absolutely outplayed all around. However, Blues looked the real deal so far. Yeah, outplayed is probably the right word. We were completely overran in midfield. And talking of Birmingham, I've mentioned the starting 11, but their back four, it was basically a back three, really, with Buchanan as centre-back, left centre-back when Blues were in possession, and Ethan Laird kind of bombing on down that right-hand side. He was really, really good. Yeah, they just outplayed us, really. And from the first minute, we had like 60% something percent possession, which is considerably more than Birmingham. Didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, well, we definitely deserve to lose that game. I have to be honest. I mean, at the end of the game, Naki Wells had that chance from 5 yards out. I mean,
That was what. That was
very
one. That was for
disappointing to miss
1-1
that.
as well. That was not for.
Yeah,
That was not after
we
2-0
would have
down. It
been
was
so
1-1.
lucky. Yeah, we would have been so lucky to get a result if you finish that off. But no, definitely a deserved loss. Was like you said, from kickoff, 12 seconds in, and they get a chance headed over the
Yeah.
crossbar, and then 66% possession, 0 shots on target. It's just those two don't go together. It's embarrassing, and we've had 3 shots on target across all 3 games. You just can't have that.
Yeah.
It's
That's
not good enough for this level. So yeah, I think attention needs to be made to the attack, especially. But I think we were obviously positive after the Millwall game, but I feel like that it kind of shaded how we played in a way because on the pressing game it was kind of the same. At the Millwall game it was really tight, and we only had 1 shot on target, and that was the goal. So I felt like now the results kind of shaded how we played, and I think if you look at all 3 performances, we weren't lethal in attack, and we weren't like showing a threat to score more goals and like be a side that's gonna like win like 2-3-0 or yeah.
John makes a very good point. Even as a Birmingham fan, he says, "How many times has Pearson made odd starting decisions against Birmingham, and seems every season he makes a random choice. It's not only against Birmingham; it's against practically every team. On opening day, we all went, oh, we all know what the starting 11 is going to be. It's always going to be Tanner right back, Max and goal, Viner, Dickey, Pring is going to be Knight, Williams, James because Alex Scott wasn't fit. It was going to be Tommy Conway up top, Sam Bell or Mehmeti off the left, and Sykes or Cornick off the right. It was not that at all. He completely mixed it up, and we're just going, just play the strongest team at your hurdle. And now we've lost our main goal scorer in Tommy Conway. We've lost a few other players through injury. Not his fault, obviously, not Pearson's fault, but still, we've lost a few players, and you're just scratching your head, going, just play the full strength side when it's available. He just doesn't do that.
Yeah, no, you're right. We should be playing our strongest team at all times. And after that Millwall game, we were riding like the crest of the wave. We were looking positive. Just needed to just push on. We had the home crowd behind us, and then you try something different. I think obviously Naki's now our only main striker, but I think he's a well experienced striker. He's brilliant. His finish is well clearly not the end of yesterday's game, but usually he's someone to rely on. But against like physical sides, like in that pressing game, the way we play and hoof the ball up, he's never going to win one of those headers against the back line of another team. So yeah, we need additions in attack. We need additions everywhere, really.
We'll get onto that. You talked about the physicality, and I've already mentioned 2 Birmingham centre backs, and well, we put Sam Bell up top against them, and you're just going, what is like he feels like 4'1" against them. It's ridiculous. I understand the plan was, oh, we'll try and use his pace, we'll get in behind them. Just never worked, and we couldn't get the ball to Mehmeti and Sykes and Cornick and whoever it was, and Sam Bell or Naki Wells in those good positions because we just didn't get one. We didn't get the second knockdowns from the long balls, and 2, and this is the main point I want to talk about, and this is my main concern. We were so slow in midfield. So slow in midfield.
Yeah, I think also Jason Knight in the Oxford game, we could see what he was about, like a bit of high pace, a bit of intensity. But yesterday, yeah, just slow, nothing really, no real excitement from the midfield, no like fast passes trying to get it,
No
trying to
injection of
create
energy,
something.
nothing.
Yeah, no creativity. And that's obviously what we miss from Alex Scott. But yeah, it's just it's not really promising at all.
John again says Janino Bakuna, who was their kind of main operator. He's one of their operators in that along that front three. He was putting it right back after Ethan Laird went off, and we'll start talking about the game, I suppose. Ethan Laird came off after 40 minutes with an injury. I think John will tell me the full extent of that injury in the chat. But he was their right back, and he was basically just bombing forward. And we knew what to expect from Ethan Laird. He's just bombing forward every time, and would just try and catch Campering out and just pin Pring and Mehmeti down our left. Just pin them back. Bakuna came on. Bakuna moved to right back. Miyoshi moved into right wing. Birmingham looks brilliant. You can't deny that. Once he came on, 8 minutes after that, they scored. Talk us through the goal.
Yeah, well, it was a corner. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, corner from the right hand side. Yeah,
corner from the right hand side, came in, bit of scrappiness trying to clear it, and then it falls to how do you pronounce it? Miyoshi,
yeah, I think so.
Miyoshi. When he came on, I could just tell he was going to be a threat. I just felt like the second he got the ball moving forward, I just think we didn't know what we were going to do with him, and he had a chance before the goal as well. It was a good block by Williams, I think, or maybe an O'Leary save, but
yeah,
it was one of the other.
Yeah, no, it was Max save. It was Max save.
Yeah. But yeah, falls to him, and it's a beautiful strike outside of the boot, top right
on his
corner.
Weak foot. On his
I don't know, weak foot as well. Yeah, well, it was impressive. It was a hard way to go into the half, to end the half, 43rd minute in added time, but I think they deserved it. And when he came on, he showed a lot of
quality, basically.
Yeah.
In the first half, this goal was in 45 plus 3 in additional time, so very late on the stroke of half time. In the first half, we had 61% possession, 5 shots, 0 on target, absolutely nothing on target. And yeah, look, that's kind of how the game went, really. We had a lot of possession, never got into areas that threatened Birmingham. And if you follow, Fevs on Twitter, he put out a compilation of the whole game where it was just misplaced pass after misplaced pass. Every time we got over the halfway line, the ball would go out of play. It's ridiculous. So many unforced
sloppy passes.
They
really annoyed me at this level to do that so many times. Just like went through a throw in and then a touch and then it goes out and then too much weight on the balls. Just poor, just sloppy. It's unacceptable, really. And we saw a couple in the first 2 games. Matty James one time, I remember, against Preston, but it just can't be happening. There's no excuses.
Can't do that at this level and get away with it, and we didn't get away with it at all. Birmingham punished us every time. Birmingham got, in my opinion, every time Birmingham got the ball over the halfway line with their front 4, 3 off the front, and Hogan and Jutkiewicz, they looked such a threat. Like their pace, their energy. Every time they went forward, they just had a purpose about them. We didn't. That, in my opinion, that game yesterday, that was a difference.
Yeah, it wasn't great at all. And then, what minute was the red card? Should we touch on that? Or?
The red card was 76.
76th minute. Yeah, I mean that was questionable. I didn't even remember when he got his first yellow, but
I think it was for an argument, like dissent, something like that. It's not smart from Dickey, so I can understand the first yellow, but the second yellow is not, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, how he barely touches him. He skims his shirt and then he falls on the floor and he just stands there. It's not a yellow in my eyes at all. But I mean, clearly the ref gave it, and then we put Cal Naismith slotted into that centre back position, and then
and what happens with the second goal?
And then the break.
Second goal, Cal Naismith gets it. We're trying to force an equaliser. Not force an equaliser. Force a shot on target. Cal Naismith gets the ball in his own half, drives into the pitch. We're all going, yeah, just pass it somewhere. Pass it straight into the 15 Birmingham players in the middle. Robs, and it's Bielik or Sunjic. He drives and passes it to, I think, Miyoshi on the right. He gives it into Jordan James, inside right hand channel, cuts across Jutkiewicz there to poke home for 2-0. And to be honest, Birmingham were far the better team. They deserved it, and we didn't deserve anything from the game, and we got what we deserved, which was nothing. So, in my opinion, I have no real complaints about how we performed and what could have been, what couldn't have been. Let's be brutally honest here. Even if that red card doesn't happen, we're not scoring. Like we're
I
not
think
scoring.
we even played better when we got the red card with 10 men. I felt like we were attacking more. Birmingham kind of stepped back a bit, let us have the ball, and we had the chance of Naki, of course, with Sam Bell on the left. He put a good ball in across, but you can't miss those chances.
Yes, the chance was, I think it was one of the midfielders, Knight, Williams, or James, puts one through for Sam Bell down the left-hand side. First real injection of energy and pace, and we get in behind Birmingham. There's a surprise. Sam Bell down the left-hand side. Naki Wells makes a typical Naki Wells run, arrives from kind of deep, gets ahead of Long, puts a ball in Sam Bell. Brilliant ball in. Naki Wells 4-5 yards out, puts it wide. It's and at that moment, when it's 1-0 and we're down to 10 men, if we'd equalised, that would have felt like a win.
Yeah, no, it would have been a great result for how bad we played. I mean, it's unlike Naki to miss those kind of chances. It is poor, but I think this will show this result. Hopefully, it gets in their head, and we can. Well, definitely, there's a lot of improvement to be made.
Yeah, as John says, we looked better with 10 men than with 11, and that's saying something really. And without the extra man in midfield, we looked more dominant. And I'm sat there confused, and I'm sat there going, how does that work? Like we're an extra man short. They have the advantage, and they're and we're looking more. We looked more threatening, but Birmingham on the counter attack were brilliant once again, and they punished us. Go on.
Yeah, I thought Max in goal. Obviously, a lot of questions around him. We do need competition. Thought today, I don't think you can blame him on either the goals too much.
He
Obviously,
made
the
a
first half
brilliant
finish.
save, didn't he, of
Yeah,
Jordan James? Yeah.
he made a couple brilliant saves. The ball came in, and then it was a touch. Yeah, and then the change of direction we got down to, I thought that was good. And then the save from Miyoshi prior to his goal. But for the two goals, I don't think you can blame him that much. I think his distribution was still not great. We have to be honest, hit a couple of those out.
I mean, to be fair, the whole team's passing was atrocious. Like really,
exactly.
it was horrendous to watch sometimes. It's one of those days where you go, what can you actually do? Because Birmingham are just much better than us, and that, unfortunately, there you are. I think I had them 18th for my predictions. They're not there. They're finishing above us at this rate. I'm not. I don't think they're finishing 8 places below us, to say the least. If that's the case, they'll probably be the bottom 3. No, look, Birmingham by far the worthy winners on the day, just far better than us. And the main difference was Keshi Anderson, Janina Bakuna, Siriki Dembele, Miyoshi and Ethan Laird for that first 40 minutes. Ran us ragged. Every time they got the ball over the halfway line and counter-attack, they just ran us ragged. And would you agree in the fact that the main difference I don't think there was much difference in between the teams in terms of defense, midfield, but it was just the fact that those creative players we lack so desperately.
Yeah, exactly. Creativity. I think that's what Alex got carried. I don't want to keep referring to him, but he's what made us a much better team last season. But yeah, the creativity is definitely what we act. I thought Dembele was great. I mean, he showed it straight away in the first 15, 20 seconds, putting a nice ball in.
Sometimes.
Yeah. But no, Birmingham are a strong team. I think I put them 13th, 14th I still kind of agree with that, but I could see them definitely pushing for the playoffs. We'll see how they face in the next. I think we have to wait 10 games, see how the table looks. I mean, it's the same every year, but they are definitely looking like a big threat to other sides, and they are the dark horse of it for this season.
So that's for City. It's now 4 points, 3 games. Not the most awful of starts, but still not ideal. It's now a draw, a win, and a loss in the first 3 games.
It's kind of how we were last year, to be honest. We had
Yeah,
kind of at the end of the season we had the same wins, same draws, same losses. It's all around
it's
there. I think
yeah,
so it's a better start to last season in terms of points. We had 2 losses and then a draw, but in terms of the opposition, well, I mean, we obviously beat Birmingham in January at home, but their team has changed quite a bit since then. And then we beat Preston, but we did draw against Millwall away. So we had 7 points out of the games of these first 3 last year, but I don't think you can really
can't really
relate
look
it
at that
too
now.
much. Yeah.
No, it is a pretty appalling performance, and we got what we deserved. Hopefully, we kind of put that to bed and go away to Hull, who've just won away at Blackburn, and try and get something. Yeah,
They went 2-1 in the end.
Yeah, they won 2-1 with an extra man. They went 1-0 down with Blackburn with 10 men, but then they turned it around. Yeah, you were lucky. We were missing our most pacey player in George Hall early season. Still a long way to go. Important not to get too high or low. You're still a few play short of being a decent side for me, and that is absolutely bang on that last bit. We are still a few players. In my honest opinion, we are about 5 players short of being a good team. We need.
I'd say 4, but I agree. We are definitely.
For me, I'm saying 5 with the injuries we have right now. That's what I just put out there. Not 5 on top of the players we already have. That's unfair. We need probably a backup goalkeeper. Stefan Bajic was on the bench against Birmingham. We probably need centre back. Where it's been kind of confirmed, we're looking at a couple of midfielders, because when that George Thomason and who's that Irish midfielder called again? Adam Murphy. We were looking at them kind of simultaneously. So we're looking to bring 2 midfielders in. And we're also looking to bring in a forward, hopefully. Because at the moment it's if we're relying on Harry Cornick every week, it's looking very good.
Yeah, I think realistically I see the club making maybe 2-3 signings before September. Maximum
1.
2. You think 1? Okay.
I think 1.
I think we need about 4 more players everywhere in the field. Not 4 for each position, but definitely at the back, a backup centre back. I mean, now that Dickie's got the red card, he's out for the game against Hull. Who do we put there? Now we have to put Cow, which is out of position. We want to play him in the midfield, and I think most fans agree that he plays better there. Or Arayore,
can't chuck him in there at Hull.
Yeah. Hull away for a youngster is not the best. We need to really have another experienced centre back. Midfield again, definitely. Since Alex Scott's gone, we need a replacement. We need someone else. We need more depth. We need more creativity. And then obviously up front, 3 shots on target is outrageous. I think maybe a loan. I think what we need is a good Tammy Abraham type loan from the Premier League.
Yeah, please
get us 20 goals.
Give me Tammy Abraham. Yeah, right.
A player to get us 15, 20 goals, be like a lethal striker. I think that's exactly what we need. And that's a big shopping list. I don't think we're going to get it, but I think a midfielder and a defender is what we'll look at, I think, for the club's perspective.
Yeah, I agree in terms of needs urgency. We're probably looking at centre back and a midfielder. Whether that's creative or defensive, honestly, don't know. Whatever it is, just get someone in. Just sign someone, please. Because anyone at the moment will do. Apparently, we're, according to Bristol City Live, who are quite reliable. We are looking at a loan from the Premier League at centre back. So if we're looking at a centre back and midfielder, we'll probably be loan for centre back and permanent for midfield. And that's not surprising since Thomason rumours and Murphy rumours. It's just, look, whatever happens in the transfer window, if Pearson is not happy with the transfer window how it ends, because clearly he also agrees. He hasn't said this outright, but he also kind of looks. If you look at the body language, he also agrees with the fact that we need a couple more in there straight away to look in terms of just improving the squad, and it's not at the moment. It's not up to it at championship level. The squad depth is fine. It's not top half level, and it needs to be really because we need to use a squad, fairly small squad. We need a bit more. Yeah. Further news. Well, from an insider account at the football club, I have again no idea how reliable this is. Thomas Callas has signed a new 1-year deal at Bristol City. Yeah, I can. Yeah. Your reaction says it all.
Okay, that's very interesting. It's been a long time coming now since his contract got expired. But if that is true, then I mean, obviously we wanted less wages. I think he was waiting out, trying to maybe get higher wages, but
at
maybe he
somewhere
accepted
else.
the
Yeah.
deal. But yeah, I mean, he was probably looking for other clubs, but maybe I guess no one came to him. And I think it's a better decision to stick with the club with his injuries, but he definitely needs to cut down on the wage bills. I think he's still, personally, I think he's still a quality player. And from what we saw at some of the games like Man City, I think he can really help us. But what do you think?
No, look. We've been kind of held for ransom really because um, we're basically the second or third choice, and he hasn't had an offer from whether abroad or just high championship where his injury record has kind of gone in and into consideration, and they've kind of gone, nah, actually, no, you know what, no, not going to sign Callas. He's 29, so he's not. Is he 29, 30 maybe? He's one of them.
Yeah.
So he's not exactly young. I'll just check if he's 29 or 30. He's 30. So he's not young anymore. He's not that player we signed for 8 million under Lee Johnson, who is now going to be the next best championship defender and the next Adam Webster. He's not that anymore. And I think fans are kind of dining out on that season with Webster. By the way, with Adam Webster alongside you in the championship, Ashley Williams would have looked good. So I'm not saying Callas isn't a good player. He is a good player. But we can't really go out on that Webster season because Webster was simply ridiculous at this level. Honestly, he doesn't fit the model. And that's what's concerning me because I thought we'd moved on from kind of high wages players who are kind of peaking and trying to just get big money moved in the championship, which we were willing to pay. I thought we'd moved on to the Jason Knights and the Hayden Roberts and the kind of Ross McCrory's, young, just about to hit their prime, really good resale value if they do well at City. We're not. That's not what Thomas Callas says. He's injury prone. He's kind of not played many games over the last 2 years. Doesn't fit our system. We're not going to get any resale value for him, even if we keep him on for one season. And that's,
Yeah.
on high wages as well. So I don't understand this.
I don't think Pearson personally would like that as well. I mean, he likes to see progress. He likes investments. Just another 1 year just to add some squad depth on high wages is not really the type of deals that he does. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that's true. But no, yeah, another year with Callas? I don't think. Well, he's still coming. Well, he's probably recovered, but no preseason. He's not fit right now. So it'd be really a struggle to get back into the first team, and then even if when Dickey comes back, he won't go straight into
He's
the
not
back
starting ahead of
line. He would
Dickey,
have
no.
to wait. Yeah, definitely not. So he'd have to wait for an injury or a run of bad form. But the way the partnership is going between Vine and Dickey, I think they're great. But we do need more squad depth there. probably Callas maybe not the right option. I do like him and I think he's a good player, but again, alone from the Premier League would be kind of similar. But then again, they're obviously going to be of higher quality than Callas and more fit and ready to come in and make a big difference.
Yeah, I can kind of see where you're coming from in terms of we just need depth, but but if that's kind of what's come to, then what has been going on? It's like how many targets have we actually missed out on to be that desperate to go back to Thomas Callas and kind of beg him to come back? It is what it is. Maybe it's a deal that suits player and club. If he's on low, maybe that's wages. Knows the manager and club. Yeah, look, he knows the club and he knows the manager, and I don't think he's moved from Bristol, the city anyway, since he's kind of left Fisher. Since his contract expired, he's not left Bristol. So maybe he was always going to come back. I don't know. If this is true, then obviously added depth, which is fine, but how many times is that depth going to be available to play is is going to be another question. Right, that's Thomas Callas. We'll end the show with about 10 minutes to talk about Hull away, which is our next game. And yeah, it's not going to be an easy one because Hull have been good under Senior. They lost on opening day to Norwich away, and they deservedly lost, but even if it was in the 90th minute, they deservedly lost. They beat Sheffield Wednesday 4-2, which you could catch them at a good time. But they beat Blackburn away 2-1 as well, but Blackburn were down to 10 men. So this is, especially at away at Hull, on a Friday night as well, not going to be an easy game.
No, I mean, like you said, they're on 6 points right now. It's a decent start to the season. I think Sheffield Wednesday have had, obviously 0 points out of 6 and out of 9. Not a great start to the season. I think everyone kind of expected that. So that win, I'm not saying anything away from Hull, but all the teams have beaten them so far. Blackburn, like you said, they went down to 10 men, but Hull aren't a bad team at all. And the way we're playing right now, it's definitely not going to be easy. Having said that, we've only played one away game, but we did win that. Home atmosphere / form hasn't been amazing, I think, at all. But I think, we could get a result out of it, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
No, and Hull have some really good players who are on form. Ozan Tufan got just a hat-trick, only a hat-trick against Sheffield Wednesday, so nothing much there. And then Aaron Connolly comes off the bench for Hull with 25 minutes to go, scores a double to win them the game at Blackburn. So look, it's not going to be an easy game at all, and honestly, I'm not very confident going into this. I think I'll have superior quality, especially in midfield, with Seri, with Tufan, with Slater, with Xavier Simmons. They are just a better team than us. I think you have to say that.
Who would you want in the starting lineup for us?
For us, stick with Max, obviously. Tanner right back, Viner. You'd have to put Cal Naismith in at centre back, and you'd put who'd I put at left back? That's a very good question. We'll talk about that actually. Who would you put at left back to start? Campering or Hayden Roberts?
I thought last game, I think it was a good chance for Hayden Roberts. I feel like a bit more of like technicality, ability on the ball. I thought when he came on, he showed a bit more like intensity and a bit more like quality on the ball. I think Pring was still really good when he played. He made a couple good challenges, but I think Roberts right now I feel like he's the kind of player that will get those attacking chances. And I think what I wanted last game and what I still want for this game is to see Anis and Roberts on the left-hand side and see how that work for like a decent majority of the game and see if we can create some chances from that. So personally, I'd see Roberts starting, and then maybe praying towards the end of the game if we somehow are in a winning position or trying to hold on to a point um, to see out the game. But yeah, personally, Roberts. But yeah.
Yeah, I'd stick. No, I'd put Hayden Robertson as well. Just give him 75, 80 minutes, and as you say, if we are somewhat miraculously winning at Hull, just put Campering in, and just to see the game out. And in midfield, I'd put Matty James, Joe Williams, Jason Knight, and honestly, I would have stuck Cal Naismith in there ahead of Joe Williams, but well, Rob
Same.
Dickey.
I was going to say that as well.
Well, we've been kind of
Can't.
forced a hand in that situation. Yeah, would you agree, Knight, Williams, James?
Yeah, I didn't think Joe really showed much against Birmingham. He didn't really like bring anything to the midfield, and neither Knight as well. I think I think against Millwall he created one or two chances. I remember one where he went through the middle and created an attack, but kind of feels like they were a bit like ghosts in the game. Nothing much. Didn't really notice them creating anything. But yeah, we kind of have to stick with them. I don't know. I don't see who else we'd put in there. I mean, like right back, you said Tanner, Ross McCrory with this bacterial infection. It's really an unknown. Nigel Pearson said that he might have to have surgery. So that could put it up
Pearson
to.
Pearson, when he first got it in pre-season, he said, it'll probably be a couple of weeks. A couple of weeks have passed. Then another couple of weeks have passed. Oh, probably be a couple of months. I'm like, what are you talking? Just tell the truth. Ridiculous. Anyway, up top.
Yeah, so many options.
So many wonderful options to put.
I think. Oh god. I'd put Naki up front. I don't really want to see Sam Bell up there again. And then because of the Roberts at left back, I want to have Anis there on the left wing, which I wanted for Birmingham as well. I want to see that for like 60 minutes of the game. I kind of want to see how that plays out. If we can do something just like the Oxford game. But yeah, Naki up front, and then for the right hand side, I think Cornick can sit on the bench for this one, and I'll put Sykes. I don't think both of them have. I think Sykes always has a decent game, doesn't create too much, but I think he's more solid than Cornick. So yeah, I have him start as well. What about you? What's your front three?
Yeah, I'd agree with Naki up top. I don't think Sam Bell deserves to be dropped. So because let's be honest, he was starved of anything. But we weren't playing to his strengths against Birmingham. We put him against two massive centre backs and went, try and win the ball in the air. You're not going to win the ball in the air. So I'd put him on the left against whoever their right back is, Louis Call or Cyrus Christie, and try and force something down their right hand side. On the right for us, I'd put Mark Sykes. Harry Cornick was, quite honestly, dreadful against Birmingham. He was really bad, and I don't think he deserves to start again. But if he doesn't start, we're not going to score any goals because we don't have his long throw-ins. Because supposedly that's the only way we can actually score now from his long throw.
Yeah, like you said in your video, no open play goals yet in the championship season. So,
and I haven't checked, but I think we're the only team after 3 games to not score a goal from open play. I think. Because Middlesbrough scored 1 goal so far, but they scored a goal from open play. And Huddersfield with 2 have scored 1 from open play. So I think we're the only team in the championship. So here's our trophy. We're the only team after 3 games not to score a goal from open play this season, which is absolutely disgusting. That is ridiculous. With the options we have up front, and well, we don't have much creativity in the middle, but the options we have up front, that is stupid. That shouldn't be on.
And it took us nearly the whole season to score a goal from outside the box,
Well,
which was
that's outside
Vyman's.
the
I
box. That's a
don't.
different story.
Yeah, no. Just going to. I don't think that will happen at all this season. I can't
Mm.
see that happening, and I think it will still from open play. I think. Well, we'll get onto our predictions in a minute, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah. I've kind of built it up with my negativity, and I'm going to say we're not going to win, let alone get anything at the. Is it the MKM now? The Hull City Stadium. MKM, KCOM, whatever it is. We're not going to win there. We're not going to get anything there. So, yeah, I think Hull are going to have a bit of a field day with us, to be honest. If they catch us on the count, if they look at the Birmingham performance and how they set up to play against us, if they allow us to have the ball, they're going to win comfortably. If they have the ball, we might have a chance. You never know. Yeah, unless we have a Millwall style defensive masterclass performance where, well, we don't even have Rob Dickey anymore, but so that's not happening.
Exactly.
But unless Zach Viner turns into Maldini and just kicks and clears everything away, and we're not getting anything. I'm so sorry. We're not going to score another goal, I don't think, or it's very, very unlikely. I'll go 2-0 to Hull.
Okay. Well, yeah. Talking about the stadium, the funniest one is the car leasing stadium. I just had to
select Carly.
from
The brilliant Reading one. Yeah,
that always gets me. But okay, yeah. For my prediction, I don't see us scoring either. To be honest, just 3 shots on target is not good at all. I do think, like you said, after the Birmingham game, they'll let us have control. We won't do anything. We'll make one chance. We might miss. Maybe we'll get a few shots, but none on target. Maybe one if we're lucky. If the away fans can experience one shot on target, they'll go home happy. But
do you remember that Lee Johnson period when we went on a bad run before COVID and we just didn't score any goals and everybody was chanting shots on target? The whole of Ashton Gate. It was the one time we actually were loud and just shouting shot on target. It was brilliant. But it was the one time our atmosphere is actually good is when the team was absolutely awful. But brilliant. There we go.
But yeah, I think they'll let us control the ball, and I think we'll again have a high percentage possession. But I'm gonna go for our first 0-0 of the season, and I'm gonna say no goals from either side. We take a point, get back to BS3, and yeah, I think it'll just be a dull game, no chances on either side, and just a 0-0. I don't want to be negative, but I just see that playing out, and we don't look like we're gonna score any goals.
You're being positive, mate. I'll take that. I'm taking a 0. I'm biting your hand off for a 0-0 draw. I'll take that and run. But there we are. That's our predictions. Mine was 2-0 Hull. No, you know what? I'll say 2-0 City. So if we do win 2-0, I'll say I called it. So 2-0 City for me. Not to Bristol, but it doesn't matter. You said 0-0.
The way it's going though now, I won't be surprised if it's a 4-4 thriller.
4-4, just score random Harry Cornick bicycle kicks from everywhere. all four goals are from Harry Cornick long throws and just smacking it in. Brilliant. Yeah, that. Yeah, there we go. That is match review for whatever that day yesterday was. Whatever that performance you want to call it. We didn't turn up. The only three Bristol City players that turned up were Andy Vyman, Tommy Conway, and Ayman Benrous, and they were signing shirts and autographs outside the south stand. Those are the only 3 Bristol City players that turned up. Yeah, we're going to Holloway next. Well, I'm not me, but Bristol City are playing
not
Holloway
me either.
Bristol City are playing Holloway next. So on the Friday night at 7:45, if you don't want more pain, I suggest don't go on social media. Have an early night and just switch off, really. But yeah, that is it. That is our Birmingham review. I wish it was. I wish we could rewind. And our Hull City preview. We are playing Swansea. No, Norwich in the cup, and then it's
And then
Swansea,
Swansea away.
and then Swansea away, who are definitely going to now win 5-0 on the weekend, and we're all going to cry looking looking at who we're playing next. Yeah, hopefully we're more positive in the next podcast, but I don't see it personally. It's a
Yeah, no,
goodbye from
we'll
me.
aim for a one shot on target, and then we'll be happy. We'll be okay.
Shots on target. It's a goodbye from me. Matisse, do you want to say goodbye?
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure. Hopefully we'll have Dan next week. Again, he couldn't make it, unfortunately, but a lot of games to go. We still got 43 of the season.
Unfortunately.
Hopefully some more points on the table. But yeah, we move to Hull next Friday. Yeah, see you guys.
See you guys.